Negative.
You're playing not to lose, but you had a whole bunch of opportunities that you could have done something great, but instead you minimized it due to fear of what could go wrong, that you didn't do anything. And so if that's the focus, that to me is the same as if, like, when you go to the grocery store. I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. You go to the grocery store and you're like, well, I need to get some food. All right, man, you go there and you're like, well, what do you want? Some chicken? Nah, I don't want any chicken. You're walking up and down the aisles with your cart. You want beans? Nah, I want beans. You want bread? I don't want bread. And you keep focusing on all the things you don't want. And after an hour in the grocery store, you're looking down at an empty shopping cart. Because all you said is what you don't want. At no point, you process of elimination, you've eliminated aisle by aisle all these things you don't want. But when you look down, you're staring at an empty cart.
And that also is, damn, this is deep, Jermaine. It almost speaks to like leadership as well, because if I have to direct people or this thing in a particular direction, one of the best ways I can do it is make a decision fucking quick and stick with it. But if I'm like, well, I don't like that one. Well, I don't know if that one's gonna work. You may end up 30 minutes without making a decision yet.
Everything has its place. So I'm not want to paint a blanket statement overall. Some things require thought and deliberation.
Makes sense.
Other things don't. So, with sports stuff, you ever hear about the best quarterbacks that have instant amnesia? They'll throw an interception and then get the ball back and go right back to work like it didn't happen. Where somebody else will throw it and you might as well bench them because they're done for the day, because that's going to be in their head all day long, worrying about making a mistake, worrying about going wrong. They're going to be useless for you for the rest of the night. So some things require, high stakes or low stakes, like making sure we have enough money so the baby can get surgery, high stakes. What are we having for lunch? Low stakes. Like, like perspective.
So got you. You deliberate over the surgery. The lunch, you just say, give me a sandwich.
And if it works out, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, make another decision and keep moving.
Makes sense. So everyday people should be determining, and I was reading something about this, like the level of priority, like what we put at the beginning of the day when we start our day. What's the priority? These things, because sometimes you may think something you want to do, like you may have something I want to do this, but that's not what you need to be doing. You need to put what's a priority at the top and kind of work yourself down the list, or you will find yourself not really doing nothing at all during the day.
Yeah, everybody talks about your purpose, but the big thing is, are you living on purpose?
Break that down.
So not necessarily I'm in alignment with my purpose and this and that. Are you living on purpose? Are you living intentionally, or is life just happening to you? Like, you may know my purpose is to get out and speak to the people. Like, I realize that's my purpose, but am I purposeful in the way I get up every day in that direction? So did I make it a point to get up at 6 a.m. to put together something that I wanted to present to the people in regard to what I wanted to communicate? Or did, if the opportunity presented myself, I said something? Like, or do you live on purpose? Do you get out of bed intentionally?
Intentionally seeking that to happen, or you just watching TV and get a phone call, hey, you want to come talk? Well, I ain't doing that. Sure.
Most people, why do you work where you work? They was hiring. Like, is this the field that you wanted to go into? No. Did you ever think about this field before the opportunity that day showed up? No. I just happened to be scrolling. They were hiring. I applied there. I work here. I never once thought about this as a career. I never decided this is the path I wanted to go on. I'm just here because I get a check.
Damn.
There's no intention.
Prime example of life happening to you.
Exactly. You get in a relationship with somebody. We just together. Like, we was around each other. We started hanging out, started sleeping together. Somebody's lease ran out. Now we live together, living together. Somebody get pregnant. Now we got kids. We just together. Nobody intentionally had a conversation about, this is this type of relationship I want. This is the dynamic in my relationship. I want to get married. I don't want to get married. How many children I want to have. These are my beliefs when it comes to child raising. These are the ideologies I want to instill. Talk about the generational aspect of it. Did you ever have a conversation with the person you created the next generation with, and how you wanted that next generation to be?
Damn. And it seems like it'd be a snowball effect, Jermaine. Like, if a person in one area of their lives allows life to just happen, it seems like it happens in every area.
The way you do anything's the way you do everything.
I heard that the other day and it shook my soul. Because I swear for a while I was of the belief that no, I'm gonna go hard here. Yeah, this kind of I'll take my time here.
It doesn't typically work. Are there some people who can compartmentalize? Yes. Do most? No.
You can't do that.
Most it's
safe just to go hard everywhere.
Yeah. What they said, three most competitive people most people recognize was Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, and Michael Jordan. Said these are three people who everything was a competition.
Yep.
Like just didn't even matter. He said people would sit across from Michael Jordan and he started drinking water, you drink water, and all of a sudden it turned into a race that you didn't even know about.
And like you not even realizing maybe if he didn't do that, maybe if he said, I'm not going to be competitive right here, he wouldn't have been competitive enough anywhere.
Yeah. So creative people are typically creative all the time. To the same accord, people who lack boundaries everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know, undisciplined people are typically undisciplined everywhere.
Everywhere. God damn it.
It's like, if you don't have boundaries at your job, you probably don't have them with your mate. You probably don't have them with your family. Damn. If you're not disciplined in how you take care of yourself, then you're probably not disciplined with your money. You know what I mean? If you're not disciplined with it, you know what I mean? So are there exceptions, of course, but by and large, most people, you know.
Damn, this is some of this stuff, Jermaine, honestly, bro, I'm just learning. And when you hear something that you know you're kind of guilty of, it does something to you. And if you're trying to get better, you're going to just eat that and try to make improvements from there. But I know a lot of people like talking about Black parents. I say a lot to myself, right? People think that if a young person, for instance, has a baby, a man, for instance, right? This is going to catapult him into maturity. Now he's going to get a job. Now he's going to work the hardest he can because there's a little life that he just brought. I realized, Jermaine, hell no. How hard did he work before the baby? How interested was he in getting a job before the baby? Excuse me. A baby's not going to change that. He's going to be the same dude, just with a baby.
So what can happen is that you can ignite coals that are already there. So when somebody is raised up a certain way, they may not be practicing those beliefs of discipline and being responsible and of duty. And then when the situation calls for it, they ignite those coals that are already down there. But there are some people who are asked upon to create something where the materials do not exist in that human.
Like they ain't got the tools.
There's no foundation of them where they've ever had to be accountable. There's no foundation where they've ever had to do these things. And then when it's all of a sudden called upon them, it's like, well, how come you're not? I was like, well, this goes into the intentionality. When you talk about people like having children, well, I thought he would step up or be a man or whatever. What part of him did he show you that was even in him?
Yeah.
Like at what point